Good day, everyone. Heartily welcome back to Beyond the Weight Family Support. So, I want to firstly welcome you all back, and for those who's joining for the first time, welcome to you too. And apologies for those who are subscribed in the past. It's been a long summer and a long wait for the first podcast back, but I'm delighted to be back. I hope everybody had a wonderful summer, and I'm not apologizing for this, but yeah, life has come in the way, and I'm not apologizing. I had to take care of my family. Work pressures as soon as I returned from holidays has been there, and thus the wait. And I'm sure with tonight's podcast that it's going to be worthwhile the wait. So once again, heartily welcome everybody. And for all those who want further content in the future and don't want to miss any of this content, please subscribe and you will automatically be alerted of all content. So this evening, we have a special family with us. I'm truly thankful to have the Kelly family with us. And as we know, the purpose of the Beyond the Weight, the whole aim of it is for us to be empowered as a community, to understand, to be more aware, to learn from one another, and to be able to help and support one another within neurodiversity. And this evening, we have a family living with neurodiversity, and we have a wonderful young lady called Caoimhe Kelly. I'll let her introduce herself further after. She lives with neurodiversity. I'll let her tell her story as we go through. And I truly hope that this podcast will allow us all to learn, to grow, to develop, so that after this we are empowered to do what? To help each other, to support each other, and to be compassionate where needs be. So without further ado, heartily welcome, Kelly family.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. I'm excited and truly thankful to have you. Thank you for making the time. I know it takes a lot of time, yeah, and it's taken a while for us to actually get to this point.
Yeah.
But here we are, and please don't be nervous, okay? Let's just have a chat, and I am privileged, number one, to know your story, but the point of this is to bring awareness. I can say now already that there's one of Caoimhe's passions to become an advocate for neurodiversity. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah.
Correct. So I hope that this will be a start, or at least a foundation of that builds into what she's already done within the neurodiverse world. So yeah, I'm going to leave it over to Caoimhe now to introduce herself to you all, and then we'll go deeper into their life's journey with living with neurodiversity. So, Caoimhe.
Hi. My name is Caoimhe, and I have level 2 autism, which basically correlates to like moderate autism, and I have ADHD and dyspraxia and dysgraphia, low muscle tone, and hypermobility. So I would be also known as high functioning, but the reason I don't use that term would be because all that really means is there's no speech delay, no significant speech delay, should I say, or intellectual disability there, which I don't have either, so I would be considered high functioning, but at the same time, high functioning would be considered low support needs, which I have not, so it kind of is confusing. So, yeah.
Okay. So thank you for that, Caoimhe. So, I picked up in there that, there's a bit of misunderstanding between what this whole high functioning or high level supports and everything is concerned. So, you mentioned the number of your multiple diagnoses, right?
Yes.
You obviously come across as a very smart, intelligent young lady. Well, you don't only come across, I know you are. Mm-hmm. We all know you are. But that seems to lead to this whole misconception or misperception that you do not need support.
Yes.
Is that true?
No, not at all.
Okay, why do you say so?
Because, well, although I don't have I don't have a lot of academic struggle, I do struggle a lot in other areas, like even simple things where everyone else doesn't struggle, I struggle with, and navigating daily life is really hard for me compared to everyone else. So it would be, that kind of stuff which would make me have more support than others.
Okay. And then how does this misconceptions or perceptions of others make you feel?
Well, it makes me feel upset because, the funny thing is, I would be considered smart, but also I'm considered to have no common sense. So what that means is, it's funny, but it's true. What it means is academically, I don't struggle a lot, but things that are seen as I said, things that are seen as easy to others, I can't grasp. Like, for example, danger awareness. I struggle massively with it, and it's not because I don't understand. For example, I'm not meant to run out in front of cars, I'm not meant to walk out to the edge of the cliff, I'm not meant to swim out too far. It's just my brain does not process it. My brain forgets to remind me. And people often say, like, the less someone knows, the better, the happier they are. And it's not necessarily true, in my case at least, because I still know, like, for example, my life expectancy would be lower than most because of this. It's just, I can't remind myself, like, my brain forgets to remind me, or I literally don't see the danger. Like, physically, my eyes don't see that I'm in danger, whereas everyone else does. So...
Wow. Thanks for opening up. Thanks for sharing. That must be extremely, extremely tough.
It is.
So, am I right in saying that in these moments, is it that you feel lost, or what? Am I just to help the audience and us all understand? It's like you're telling us, right? This is a dangerous situation, yet it's like there's nothing stopping you from actually entering the danger.
It's not necessarily that. It's more so, if someone asked me, are you meant to be 2 centimeters away from a deep body of water, or are you meant to run out in front of cars? I would say, of course not. But if I'm actually in the situation, I don't know that. Like, basically, my body doesn't know. Like, my brain knows, but my body doesn't, and my brain doesn't know I'm in danger either. So it's silly. It sounds silly.
It's like you're not processing the situation, basically.
Yeah.
Basically. Okay. So that is life-threatening.
Yeah.
Life-threatening stuff. So let's stick to that. Let's stick in general to the social circumstances for now. Can you maybe pinpoint exactly some health and safety measures you've put into place to ensure that you don't step over the edge of the cliff, that you don't swim in too deep, or don't cross the street when there's a truck coming?
In dangerous situations, really, I have to have someone with me. Like, my mom and dad, they pull me out if I'm going too far. I have to be reminded consistently. If I'm going out on a school trip, I have to have, like, for example, I have an S&A or a more mature friend with me. And that helps me because they watch me, basically. Even though, like, I'm the same age as them, even if I am, it's that I still have to be watched, because
and supervised more than supervised might not be the right word.
No, it is.
Is it? Okay.
I have to be watched over, and
Can you just let the audience know exactly, if you don't mind? I know you don't normally ask a lady her age, but just so your peers can get understanding. Are you okay with sharing your age? You don't have to.
I'm 13 years old and I'm almost 14.
Soon to be 14.
Yes.
Very good, very good. So when you're with your fellow other teenagers, 14, 15-year-olds, your friends out there, you have to be supervised. And what does that do for your self-identity and confidence?
Well, it makes me feel upset when people feel like I'm, like, so I don't know how to put it into words. So just because I'm physically the same age, like, emotionally, it's been noted that I'm younger, and socially, even though academically I'm the same age, mentally I'd be a bit younger than everyone else. I'd be a couple of years behind, and hopefully I catch up as time goes on. But so far, some of my friends, disappointingly so, it's they have to watch over me like I would watch over my younger sister, or so that's annoying at times for them and for me, because I want to be as mature and as capable as everyone else, but my autism and stuff, that makes it hard to do so. So yeah, it's a really difficult thing to live with, because like being so much, I don't know how to explain it, because physically
Sure.
I'd be the same as everyone else.
While able, look the same,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, it
somebody
looks
has
the
got
same.
no struggles.
But yet I'm so different at the same time. Even to some of my neurodivergent peers, I'd still be so different to them, and that's kind of upsetting sometimes. But yeah,
So you can really attest to that whole. It's almost a cliche within the neurodiversity. If you've met one person with autism, you've met one person with autism.
yes,
All right.
because they're all so different. Because like that's why I like the levels almost, because like someone with level 1 autism is so different to level 2 autism, and someone with the level 2 autism is so different to level 3 autism, and it's just but then again, even in the levels, everyone is so different, so it's hard to understand that for others, but I think that's a point that really needs to be brought across.
Powerful, 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 powerful. Let's stick to the friendship dynamics. Yeah.
Yeah.
Express your longings within your friendships.
Well, all the way growing up, I've always wanted a forever friend, a number one best friend who wants to be with me forever, and I mean quite literally forever. And that's a silly thing, because I never cared what the person was like. Like, they could be a really bad person, and oftentimes they have been, and a lot of the time I won't recognize that. I won't, but really all I've ever wanted, like my only thing is that they will be my friend, and like that's the criteria, and that's it. So it's gotten me into really bad situations. But a forever friend, it was just someone who would always want to hang out with me, basically, because it seemed like in my head all the way growing up, and still sometimes now, that everyone else always had a number one best friend, and I could just never have that, because people wouldn't want to stick with me. People didn't want to hang out with me every day, and they wanted to hang out with other people. And that made me quite upset, because I didn't understand why I couldn't just be like everyone else and, have that kind of relationship with someone. But instead I was seen as kind of different, and it made me feel alienated by everyone.
Okay. Do you have a friendship
I do have
circle at the moment?
I have best friends from different friend groups. Like, they might not even be in the same school as me, and it's worth noting that most, if not all, I think actually would be usually like on the spectrum or neurodivergent or special needs in some sort of way.
They seem to you understand each other better,
Yeah,
basically.
it's a lot easier to navigate friendships with like special needs people like myself, because they're not blunt necessarily, but they're less dishonest, and they'll tell you when something is wrong, and that makes it easier to navigate, although it can be a struggle at times as well, because being sensitive, it can hurt sometimes as well. But
Of course. Caoimhe, can you share with us, again, no pressure. I just want the audience listening to this, because what they're seeing is this beautiful young lady confidently speaking about herself, and I say thank you for that again. What are some of the, let's put it this way, signs and symptoms? What are some of the, do you have meltdowns, for instance, breakdowns? And if so, can you describe one or two of them to me?
yeah,
Or to us?
Actually, I frequently have meltdowns. So my meltdowns would be very obvious to even an average person, and I can't control them. I can't. Basically, what they are is I can't function during them. It's where I completely lose control of myself, and I scream, I sob, I hyperventilate. I would hit myself physically. I've ended up with bruises or cuts because of these meltdowns, and they last a while, and I can't stop them by myself. So at school I have the SEN coordinator or the SNAs or the resource teachers, and at home I have my mom and my dad and everyone. So that's helpful, but I can't stop them myself, and it needs to be certain people, definitely. So that's something I struggle with a lot, because I have them very frequently, like every week, like more than once a week. So that's hard.
So wow, so again, we bring that back into the friendships, right? That means because you got your certain persons already, you're limited to go out independently, so to say, with your friendship crew. Especially if you cannot trust that they can bring you out of a panic attack, or is a panic attack...
Both, kind of, yeah. They'd be listed as both panic attacks and meltdowns. The sad thing is, none of my friends really can help those, like, because it's kind of more professionals that have to, because they're so extreme, kind of. Like... I don't know how, like, because my parents have dealt with me my entire life, and the professionals in my school, they understand it because they've seen so many, they work with it and they're trained to deal with it. It's different there, but for friends and stuff, it's just not possible. I've been asked by friends what they could do to help if so happened, and I don't think there would be anything except bringing me to a safe person, to be honest.
Okay.
So that's hard.
Okay, but we are taking measures. We are taking measures to ensure that won't limit you as much into the future. Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm privileged to be Caoimhe's occupational therapist at this moment in time. And I'm telling you, I'm privileged. I learned so much from Caoimhe. More than what she learns from me, I'm sure. But yeah, we're doing our therapy and to help out with the whole, because with it all comes your sensory processing difficulties as well, which then leads to the emotional regulation difficulties. And am I correct in saying all that? Are you okay with me sharing all that?
No.
So yeah, you've mentioned your trained school staff. Okay, so can you touch on us? Navigating school life, navigating, say, the curriculum challenges. How do you feel all your multiple diagnoses has impacted your ability to navigate the curriculum?
Well, so for the curriculum, I was joking with my mom earlier on that because I have so many, it's like I have an completely separate thing almost called Caoimhe syndrome. But no, so they all affect me in different ways. For example, like in school, like I have my autism affects, well, everything in life almost, but in school it affects like even the little things. Like I find lessons like CSPE, SPHE, religion really, really difficult, or PE as well, because of my dyspraxia and everything. So for SPHE, CSPE and religion, it's because they're really noisy, they're very unstructured, and everything is kind of all over the place. And it's not about the teachers at all, because I have amazing teachers, but I find often I can't do those classes because I'm less concentrated on the lesson because it's not academic, and I'm more concentrated on the people around me, and that terrifies me for some reason.
Okay.
For PE and sports subjects, I find them really difficult because I'm so uncoordinated, but also because I hate the feeling of sweat or anything like that, and I don't like it when people are watching me do sports because I am so bad at them. It's almost embarrassing, but because like my classmates, they're not always the nicest, so they can be mean, or not even my classmates, but my schoolmates. So that's that. But the subjects I find the easiest would definitely be the academic subjects, which would be the opposite. Like they're the subjects I love the most, and that would be the opposite to most people in secondary school, I think, because I think most people would prefer the easy subjects, but those easy subjects would be the hard ones for me. So, but my autism affects like me processing around everything around me, because like even laughs from my classmates make it feel like I'm going to scream, because it hurts my ears. It makes me feel scared. I don't know. It makes me feel very isolated. And even though they're not even laughing at me, it's just, it hurts. And like, so like noise and everything, and my classmates randomly scream at times. I don't know why they do it, but it's really annoying. The smells of the cafeteria. And for my ADHD, it affects my concentration a lot, and that can affect schoolwork as well, because I'd be a very stressed person and I try to achieve well, so I'd be kind of a perfectionist. And when you have troubles with focusing, that makes it even harder, because you have to catch up on everything. And for my dyspraxia, of course, it affects PE, like I said, and my dysgraphia affects my writing, so I use a laptop in school.
Yeah, look. I just want to get on with this one powerful point that I want to write into your heart, right? I just sense this very forgiving, compassionate person. So that even when your friends are a bit nasty to you, it's like you have this innate level to understand that it's coming from I don't want to, ignorant might be a strong word here, but ignorance just simply means lack of knowledge, lack of understanding, lack of awareness of what you're going through. And so you having to take the brunt of all the negativity and yet go in there as positive as possible.
Yeah,
and just make this situation work as best as you can for you. Am I right in saying that?
You're right, because although I find it very hard, it's last year people told me like I was very positive in school, so that made me happy because I try my best, but it's very hard because my emotions switch up just like that. It's like you know the movie Inside Out in my head.
Yes.
That's like in my head, except I read into the most tiny things, even though I don't understand them and I'm usually wrong, but my brain, it's not on purpose even, but it reads into the tiniest things, and then the little people in my head are pressing, this makes me very, very sad, or this makes me very, very happy, and when I'm very happy, it makes me look like I'm drugged. That is a accurate description. My eyes go bonkers and I can't look at anyone, and I'm just shouting and not even noticing it, jumping all over the place, can't sit still, can't talk to anyone, I'm just too busy laughing. And this makes me feel happy, but it's a bother to everyone else, and also usually it ends up with me having a meltdown, because when there's a high, there's always a low. And when I'm sad, my emotions in general would be very obvious, like I can't control them and I can't hide them. So when I'm sad, it's very obvious. When I'm happy, like my 6th class teacher described me as a cartoon kind of person because it's so obvious on my face and my body language, and it's not on purpose.
Visible.
I just can't hide it.
Yeah. So, wow, there's a lot in there, absolutely a lot, and I hope it brings the wider community and our wider society insight into how difficult it can be. Can you touch on the measures we have put in place? You've mentioned one of them. Due to dyspraxia, you have the handwriting difficulties, all those things. We've done the specific report through assistive technology. So you'll be using assistive technology now for all the curriculum access and things. What other measures have you in place at this moment in time to help and support and to help you overcome all your sensory processing difficulties, social skills difficulties?
Specifically in school?
Doesn't have to be school, in general.
In school, I go to a very special needs friendly school. Like if I didn't go to this school, I don't think I'd be able to go to school a lot. I would probably have transferred or just not gone in general, because I would be seen as, I don't know, misbehaving and unable to do this curriculum. So I'm very glad I go to the school I am going to, because I get a lot of support, like very massive amounts of support, and I'm really happy for that, and I'm really lucky. But so an example would be, in the morning I get a bus that comes directly to my house, a resource bus, and I have my bus driver, and he does very specific routines with me, and that just already sets my day up for a good day. So this would be an average day for me. Then I walk in to the resource door, so I don't have to walk in the noisy place or wait, and I just do the exact same thing every single day. Then I wait 10 minutes while everyone else goes to class, so it's not busy when I go up, and then I go up, and whenever I need to. My school has this massive place called the Resource Centre, and it's basically a place for anyone with additional needs, and it's where most of my friends would be. So I have that whenever I need it, and I get help with breathing, I get help with my meltdowns, and everyone there is very supportive and kind. Everyone talks to me. I have lots of friends down there because they're people that understand me, so that makes me happy. And I do half of my PE time instead of full PE time, and I have a class 2 times a week to help with social and relationship skills, and so that's really good. And we're planning on going out in future, like to the town and stuff, with my class, like as in my social and relationship skills class that was made specifically for me, hosted by my SEN coordinator, which is really nice of her because she's so busy. And on Tuesdays it's me and a girl on my bus who's really nice, and on Fridays it's just me.
Give me a high five. She detailed and recognized virtually everyone and every resource that's been put into place for there. So fantastic. And then hopefully with our relationship that we built up within occupational therapy, the aim would be that we can start decreasing those resources indeed, where you'll start self-regulating better, emotional regulations will get better, less of the panic or meltdowns will be happening, but that's going to take time and take hard work. And I know I can say to everybody now already, very diligent young lady, diligent, determined, and takes whatever bit of advice is given, whether it's a specific exercise, no matter how stupid it may seem or whatever. Caoimhe gets involved because she knows it's going to help her. Yeah, am I right?
Yes.
Do you enjoy your occupational therapy sessions?
I love it.
Fantastic. And yeah, we have lots of fun.
Yeah.
And we're going to get there. So, again, another high five. I'm going to give you a break because, as you can see, audience, there's 2 other persons sitting here and they're not here for nothing. Yeah. These are the wonderful, wonderful parents. I say there's no Caoimhe without parents. There's no child without a parent. And so we'd want to hear from the parents' perspective as well. And so with us we have Norma Kelly, Kevin Kelly, yeah, and obviously the parents of Caoimhe here. And yeah, over to mom and dad, if you can just share from a parent's perspective, your journey, your journey, your life journey, as much as you wish to share. I'm not going to limit you.
Caoimhe has a brother with ASD and ADHD as well. So he's a couple of years older than Caoimhe. And then she's a younger sister. So there's 3 kids and the 2 of us. There's 5 in the family. Caoimhe was always really bubbly and really good fun, wasn't she? Really, plenty of empathy, kindness. Really good kid. But from an early age, I would have queried, was there something going on with her? And I was always told by the teachers, no, she's really articulate, she's really intelligent, she'll grow out of it, or she's doing fine. Caoimhe's Caoimhe. And I was kind of in the back of me saying, oh, is it maybe because I'm a little bit more wary of it because my son has a diagnosis? Mm-hmm. And I was comparing her, and they're like chalk and cheese. Now, if I'm honest, they're extremely different. Even though they have similar diagnoses, they're really different, same levels and everything. Yeah. So we continued on. I can explain, the one thing I can explain her, she'd be so compliant in school. She'd come out of school and it's like opening a bottle of Coke.
Yes.
And she was either extremely hyper, you couldn't keep up with her, or she was extremely emotional, and that's from a very, very young age. She was able to maintain friendship, or make friendships easy, but not maintain them. Okay. And as I said, intellectually, she was probably above her peers. So like reading and spellings, like where her brother would have really struggled with, she took before she was taught, basically, wasn't she?
Yeah, absolutely.
So then as she got older, it became more and more obvious that she was feeling isolated, and very sadly, she would say she felt like an alien looking in at the world. And her emotions were very, very sad and very, very deep. And we were really, really concerned about her mental health, weren't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
That was
the real reason, I suppose, we approached the GP in the first place, for CAMHS. we were worried. We didn't know. We obviously thought she had some sensory issues, but we queried whether there was a mental health side to it. So we brought her to GP, got the referral in for CAMS. CAMS refused to take the referral.
Yeah.
So that was difficult. So we had to go down the private route and get her assessed privately with a psychologist.
Yeah.
And then she was diagnosed with ASD. I think it was one of the happiest days we've ever put in together as a family.
We went off.
Wow.
I know it sounds
We got cake.
I know it sounds
we went
ridiculous.
off. The first thing we did after we got the diagnosis was we went to a cafe and we celebrated, because at least now we knew that we could put a plan in place for her, and she understood herself a lot more.
And I cried of happiness, and that's the first time I ever cried of happiness, because I don't cry of happiness, but I cried of happiness, and I got an Oreo bun.
You did. And to be honest, in 5th and 6th class, the school was becoming more noticeable because she was having a lot more meltdowns in school, and it was her 6th class teacher was amazing, and she kept saying to me, Norma, go with your gut feeling. And I needed that little persuasion going, I'm not going mad, there is a lot going on here, I need to do something for her. We had gone down the counselling route and it just didn't work.
Yes.
So then, as you said, we went into the GP and we were blessed. Her GP was amazing as well, and she was saying, Norma, you've got a family history here, like what you're going, you know, is she definitely worth looking into ASD and ADHD. So she went down the CAMS route.
Okay.
And we had met Kevin contacted a lovely psychologist in Carlow Town, who we explained we didn't know if it was ASD or ADHD, because to be honest, a lot of it I thought was ADHD. Do you know?
Okay, yeah.
And she said, Fillion, I'm going to send you out forms, and I'm going to give you forms for the school, so at least you know which route to go.
Okay.
So she was saying ASD was the main one, but there was definitely traits of ADHD. So unfortunately, there was a long waiting list for her, and the school, one of her friends who's a resource teacher in a different school, collected Caoimhe one of the days after an activity, and she came in because Caoimhe was in an awful state, and we had explained what was going on, and we were blessed. In her school, there was a psychologist coming in, and one of the candidates that was meant to be seen by her the following week wasn't able to do it. There was a cancellation.
Wow.
So thankfully, because she was in 6th class at this stage now, Denzel, and I was concerned about next year, secondary school.
Yeah.
So after doing that, as she said, we were proud as punch. It was one of the best days for us.
It was a relief for all of us.
It was a massive relief.
We knew something was there. We knew something was going on. We didn't fully understand. Was it ADHD? Was it mental health? Was it autism? What was it? What? We couldn't pinpoint it ourselves. Like, naturally we couldn't, because we're not experts. So it was great to get that diagnosis, to actually point us in the right direction, to clarify all these things for us, because now we can go off. I have 2 of the best researchers in the world sitting beside me.
Wow.
They will research anything, and they will find information. And that's what they did. They went off and researched, and we were able to confirm, yes, this is autism. This is what's going on. Now, what can we do as a family to assist Caoimhe as best we can, and to make her journey through life easier?
Yep, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that powerful, powerful journey. I can tell you now, knowing Caoimhe now for, I'd say, 6 months plus now we know each other. I want to bring on the team onto diagnostics. she can list all the signs, and she'll pick it up from her peers, I'm telling you. All jokes aside, that was absolutely, thank you for being open and honest about the journey. And I know, as you said, to many listening to this, it may sound weird. Getting a diagnosis for your child, one of the most joyful days as a family.
Yeah.
But before that, you were lost, so to say. You were just trialing, erring, and dealing with
I'll tell you,
one
Denzel,
thing.
I didn't see a future for Caoimhe. It was that scary.
Wow.
It was that low, and a person that absolutely hated herself and just didn't feel belonged anywhere. And it's one of the scariest things. Anything after that, you could deal with, because it was a relief. We knew there was a road to recovery nearly, you know, and that's the way I'd look at it. Like, her future, I couldn't see it. I was terrified, you know, every night.
We were afraid. Caoimhe was going to self-harm.
Wow. How does this make you feel?
It
Listening
makes
to
me
all
feel
this.
sad for my parents, but it makes me feel happy that I got a diagnosis, so that didn't happen.
No, yeah. And it's much, much better on that side now, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then a positive journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, still long way to go. But
Yeah.
look at this.
Look at this.
Driven.
Yeah.
Driven and just amazing. Absolutely amazing. You know? Caoimhe, I don't want you leaving here feeling that you've left things unsaid. Is there anything you want to share with all of us?
Well, I think the main thing is never over-assume or under-assume anything. Like, people, depending on where you see me, people either assume I'm incompetent or over-competent. Like, they assume too much of me or they don't assume anything of me. And both are wrong. Because you can't assume anything of anyone if you don't know them. So, like, if someone saw me when I'm happy, like when I'm feeling big emotions, then they think, oh, she can't do anything. She's fully bleh. But then when someone sees me academically, they think, wow, she can do so much stuff. But then almost it's neither, but at the same time, it can be both. Mm-hmm. Like, it just don't assume anything before you know someone. Just assume that they can maybe be able to do stuff. Sorry, that's worded badly, but I hope you understand what I mean.
I think I completely understand what you mean. Just, don't judge the book by its cover, so to say, or by the situation or whatever, and just try and be a bit more understanding. Mm-hmm. Basically,
yes.
It's all you're calling for people to be a bit more understanding, and I think that message goes across the board to your friends, to the fellow professionals you have to engage with, to the staff, wherever you go, and just to the wider community, to society.
Yeah, and also, I'm not just autism. I'm also Caoimhe. There's other parts of me. It's not just because, like, even in a medical sense, a lot of, like, a professional might see, like, there's actual problems there and they just blame it on autism. Or in school, a lot of the time I'm being picked on and they say, I don't know any better, I have autism, or I can't do any of this because I have autism. And my classmates, or not even my classmates, but schoolmates in general, they actually do say that about me, and that hurts my feelings because I can do stuff, I just do it differently, or it may take me extra time and I might need extra help with it, but I can still do stuff. It's just different.
Give me a high five. I'm so glad it came straight out of the, not calling you a horse. You can't take things literally sometimes. She'll jump down my throat after this. Straight from the horse's mouth. Living with it, dealing with it, feeling every emotion, good, bad, indifferent emotion that comes with it all. And Can we all just hearken to the score? Okay, anything else, Caoimhe?
I don't think so. I'll probably think later on and be like, oh, why didn't I say that?
That's fine, we'll bring you on again to the podcast. Parents, don't want to leave you feeling that your voice wasn't heard. Anything you want to add? Lessons learned, any experiences that you'd like to share with other parents that's in similar circumstances? Any advice?
For me, is always follow your gut feeling. In one sense, I delayed it because I was going by thinking, oh, these are experts because they're teachers and all that. And they were fantastic. She's had amazing teachers. But the more I looked into it, a lot of them don't have the skill or knowledge, or because it's not part of their training. They only broadly go over it unless they have a special training. Also, if you can get into schools like that have a resource centre, it's amazing. For me, for secondary school, communication levels are fantastic. We are blessed where she is. From day one of bringing them up to tell her, her diagnosis has gone through. I'm lucky enough that her brother was there, so we had a good relationship anyway. What else would you say? I suppose learning. People love to get it out there more, that it's like what you were saying earlier on. It's ignorance. There is it's coming on so much with ASD and neurodiversity acceptance to a certain degree with all the education stuff that are starting to be put into place. Yeah. But there's so much out there that people don't know. They don't relate. the different levels. They don't see it, or it's like, oh, sure, everybody has a bit of autism, and that's heartbreaking for somebody that has it.
Yes.
It's very frustrating on parents knowing the struggles your child is going through. But it's all about research and knowledge. Like for us, it was learning two different children. Do you know how we can be so different?
Yeah.
Like, and knowing as well, like the scene, you know, telling us like it's very it happens a lot at her age that it becomes more obvious. The masking comes down. Their masking at a younger age is quite similar to kids their own age. As they get older, that's where it shows up more in girls. What else? Which
I just reinforce the point. If you have, I'm going to reinforce both your points actually. If you have concerns, do not let anything get in your way. Go for it. Follow it up. If you're concerned, you're the parent, you know. Okay, nobody knows your child better than you do. And the second thing is about the judgment. People are quick to come to judgment, and you said, like, you know, people will say, oh, sure, aren't we all a little bit autistic, trying to make you feel better. That's a horrific thing to say. You know, you don't know this child's experience unless you've lived it, or have, I suppose, lived some form of it. You know, and don't judge. You see a child and a parent in a supermarket, and the child is having difficulties or whatever. Don't throw your eyes to heaven. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know what that parent or that child is experiencing. You know, and definitely don't make comments. I've seen people actually make comments about people's parenting and stuff, and it's not helpful, and it actually makes situations worse. But yeah, just, you know, every child is different. Every child has their own needs, and one of the biggest things, I suppose, you can do with a child who presents with any kind of special needs or neurodiversity is to, you know, take a double check. You don't always know exactly what they're thinking. Even if you're the parent and around all day, you don't actually know. So you actually have to engage the young person, engage the child. You know, talk to your child, talk to your son, talk to your daughter. Ask them exactly what's going on for them. It might seem like it's total nonsense to you, but it's not. You know, it might just come out of the blue and I kind of go, oh God, that sounds not right. But it is. That's what they're going through. That's their experience. Okay, and we have to adapt, and we have to learn.
Adapt and show compassion in that moment.
Absolutely.
And try and understand.
You know. Yeah, absolutely.
there's a lot of going on saying, you know, neurodiverse. The world has gone a lot more friendlier, but in so many ways, I think it's so hard that if you have ASD or any neurodiversity, that you still have to try and fit into this world, and you have to fit into a box. And why should they?
Even other autistic people recommend you to, because I've been told by other autistic people who couldn't hide it better than me sometimes in school that I need to get used to it, that I need to get over it, that I need to learn how to hide it better, and that just hurts my feelings because I can't. And it's not good for you anyway.
And masking is dangerous.
Yes.
And one more thing I want to say, just for professionals, and as Kevin was saying, with your own children and whoever is involved, communication is the main thing. It's the main concept.
Wow.
And the likes of yourself, Denzel, like I was told, you know, oh, you've got a diagnosis now for ASD, and it meant really nicely, and ADHD. Why do you need to go down the dyspraxia route? Now, it's very obvious since she was really young, coordination skills. I don't know how it was missed in school, like I really don't. But like every week, Denzel, what you do with her sets her up for the week. I know for a fact if she didn't have her sessions with you, her meltdowns would be a lot worse, and they're bad now at school, and the school is amazing. But even school, you know, it's her exercises at home when she comes home. It's what you do during the day to regulate her. You know exactly what she needs when she comes in to see you. And I'd like to thank you because you've been an absolute amazing asset to her. Absolutely. You're like a psychologist as well, as well as her OT. You're fantastic. So thank you.
Thank you. It's an honor. It's a privilege. I'm speechless. All I can say is thank you, and thank you for opening up your hearts and minds. And please let us all learn from this. Let us all grow from this, and let us just be. Let's put it all in a nutshell. It boils down to the basic respect.
Exactly.
Respect every other individual with or without diagnosis. Let's just respect one another. Let's love one another. Let's help and support one another. I don't have to like everything about you, but at least I can try and help you where help is required, and you could potentially help me where I need help. We all are in need of help. So, finish preaching on that one. Exceptionally emotional, and again, just truly, truly thankful. So, Kevin, Norma, and the wonderful Caoimhe, the wonderful daughter Caoimhe you made. Thank you so much. Give me another high five. Excellent. Want to say bye to the people?
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.